Okay,
We're back.
we are back. It is episode 42 of the Metal Roundtable. I am Metal Rob, and with me, as always, is the great...
Garcus John, I'm sorry to jump you there. I'm just so excited about this
No,
episode.
you do whatever you want, man. This is a partnership.
Do whatever I want?
Well, within
that's
reason.
Within reason, of course.
I mean, I'd prefer you not go shirtless.
No, I won't do that yet.
Look, let's start...
I am down about 6 pounds, though, from the beginning of the month.
Sweet.
Or through the month of January. So
Good for you, little buddy.
shout out to my daughter, who has me on a very strict... man, she's very strict. And pretty crazy about what she's doing. But anyway, I digress. And
So-
she's a metalhead, too.
Awesome. So, let's... not to dismiss your daughter, but let's get down to business here.
Yeah, that's Carcass Spawn. You don't want to
No.
dismiss her.
Let's get down to business on this shirt. Okay.
I tried to give you kind of an easy one to get back in the flow.
Okay. I'm going to try this.
Okay.
Okay, the second word is obviously darkness. As if you guys know, Carcass always wears unreadable logos except for the one time he wore Kiss that Monkey Butt couldn't
burning
read.
midget.
Yes. He did wear burning midget.
But that
I'm
was
sorry.
well, you addressed it as politically incorrect, but well, whatever.
Right. So I'm going to attempt, as always, to read his shirt. And the second word is obviously darkness.
Yes.
Now, the first part's throwing me off a little bit. I'm going with unholy darkness.
And
Okay, hang on. Is that an E?
that is correct.
All right, lay it on me.
Enfolded darkness.
Can you read that, Monkey Butt? No.
Of course he can't.
Enfolded darkness. Well, tell us about enfolded darkness.
Oh,
I do
great.
not see the ED. I see FN.
ENF.
It looks like FNFOL.
ENFOL in the backwards D.
I kind of... Oh, the
I
D
kind of
is-
see it now, but there looks
okay.
like a K right after that.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's just a spider web or something.
What do we know, man?
Yeah, man, it's they're atmospheric black thrash
Okay.
along the line of Abigail Williams or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, very cool guys.
Let's give some shout outs.
Okay, you can go first.
Do you want to do that?
Well, I gave a shout out to my daughter Carcass Spawn,
Yes, you did.
and so I'm trying to think who else.
Well, so I am trying desperately to herd cats from my stupid individual YouTube channel that I didn't realize I had an individual YouTube channel.
You
Over
are,
to
aren't
the
we
Metal
all
Roundtable
individuals,
channel.
Rob? Aren't we all individuals?
I'm really terrible at social media, as you obviously know, but I definitely want to shout out some new subscribers today. Neil Edge, Metal Sandwich Films. I know who that is.
Cool.
You probably don't know who that is. That's a buddy of mine. Deathmatch 12, and obviously Forebode.
Of course.
Monkey Butt subscribed. Isn't that sweet?
Yay! Thanks.
Oh,
Support from in-house.
I noticed that you have not subscribed,
I'm
and I'm a little
okay. You're terrible at social media. I'm worse.
okay.
Okay,
Well,
so send me a request or whatever it is, whatever they do,
all right. Well,
and
subscribe to your own channel, Chief,
okay,
and get your metalhead daughter to subscribe.
okay, and all her friends.
All right. So, but here's the deal with social media. I'm learning, and it's like a square peg in a round hole for me.
Ooh, tough.
So, what I'm figuring out under the tutelage of the great Mark over here,
Who's Mark? Oh,
Monkey Butt. Sorry.
yeah, sorry.
Or Monkey Butt. Oh, Melinda Duff just subscribed. Hello, new subscriber.
Boom, Melinda. Thanks.
Pow. What's up? So, you have to have a minimum of 100 subscribers before it unlocks all the doors and you can do all this
Oh,
crap that we've
man.
been trying to do anyway.
Unleashed from the catacombs of darkness.
Yeah,
enfolded darkness.
We'll be out of YouTube jail, and we can actually have a custom name and this,
Ooh, and
I know,
ah.
I know, right?
And I thought this was all just for fun.
Right. So anyway, we're trying to unlock some good stuff on our channel, so we would love it if you're watching the video live on YouTube, hit the subscribe button down there in the lower right-hand corner. And if you're not watching live, if you're watching this later, please also hit that subscribe button. We would love you for it. And I've got one more quick shout out, and then we'll get down to business.
Okay.
I'm going to shout out my friend Scott Waters that runs No Life Till Metal Records. This is the newest release that they have. This is a reissue of a Banshee record. I did the mastering on it, but we're not going to talk about that.
I knew there was a plug there somewhere.
But no, I hit up Scott and said, and my buddy Matt from Brutal Planet Records, and said, hey, will you guys send me some stuff to give away on the show? And they said yes, and 2 boxes showed up this week with stuff. So look, here's our first little batch of stuff
To give away.
Yeah, man. There's Banshee from No Life Till Metal. There's Heretic from Brutal Planet.
Oh, cool.
Stone Age from Brutal Planet. Tango Down from Brutal Planet. Peacemaker from Brutal Planet. This features Ronnie Monroe, former Metal Church singer.
Oh, wow. Cool.
How about that?
Awesome.
So, yeah, if you're down for some CDs or metal, or CDs or metal, CDs or vinyl, hit us up because we're going to give one away. And let's do this. We have not taken a single caller on the show.
Except me. You've taken.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. We did take a call from you. So, Monkey Butt, here's the deal. The first person that rings the phone number gets a CD, and I'll let them pick. The number is 877-337-5844. It should be on the screen.
Is it on the screen?
Sorry.
Well, we know that metal will prevail.
Watch the magic that's about to happen here.
But 877-337-5844.
5844. I know Fraser's listening.
Oh, yeah.
You know it. Fraser's by the channel.
He's going to want that Tango Down, I know.
Yeah.
Or the Banshee.
Yeah, but today only, man, I'll give you your choice. The first person that rings Monkey Butt up here at the station, we're going to give you a CD. It's 877-337-5844. Give us a call, and we'll give you your choice out of the stack.
And that was my daughter asking me how my diet was. Good grief.
Tell her to subscribe.
Subscribe.
Text her right now.
I'm going to text her live on air.
All right, well, we are here for episode 42, and today's top... Oh, shout-outs. Do you want to do some?
Nah.
I'm putting you on the spot.
Yeah, you
put
me on the spot, and I'm texting. I'm multitasking. Heck, I don't know. I mean, got a lot of cool shows coming to town. Got Vader invading this weekend. We've got
sweet.
I got a notice from Forebode. They're doing a huge Stoner Fest down.
I saw that
in Austin. That looks pretty cool. Gee whiz, I don't know. I mean, those guys are always our go-to shout-out guys because they play a lot of shows and they're recording their full-length record. Can't wait to hear that.
I will be spending the evening of my 50th birthday on April 16th at Gas Monkey Bar and Grill to see Satan and others.
And others?
Night Demon, Bewitcher. There's another one I'm forgetting.
Oh, man.
Anyway.
I almost might go just to...
So on April 16th, come on out and hang out with Metal Rob at the 50th anniversary of my birth. So let's get down to business on episode 42 here. We are going to talk about band mascots.
Yes.
And I've opened a can of worms here because I brought like 3 things and the Carcass brought a box. So while Carcass reads his list, I'll just sit back and...
Well, you opened a can of worms. I opened a coffin of worms.
Shout out to Larry Berrigan, who's...
Right on, Larry.
Maybe watching.
Are they doing a new record too? Is that what I was reading, or?
You read that correctly.
I read his rant about
some
his love for the halftime.
Yep.
The halftime.
I believe some basic tracking of a new Hellstar album is underway.
Ooh.
Hopefully we can say that. I mean, I think I read it on Facebook. So.
Oh, well, then you must be able to do that.
Yeah, I think I'm able to do that.
Well, as we think about mascots, obviously. Several easy ones come to mind, and I think you're going to talk about those at the, middle or end of the show. But I thought what I'd do is lowering carbs. My daughter still is relentless. She says, yes, I will, but lowering carbs is your best bet. I don't know if lowering carbs will help the show, but it'll help me health-wise.
Justin says that I am Satan. Richie, as always, says, hello, ladies. Papa Wayne says diet? Question mark.
Diet question mark. Yeah. Do I look like I'm not on a diet, Papa Wayne? Anyway, so anyway, this whole idea of a mascot for your band, I think it's an interesting concept because it lends to how people relate to your band, and it always helps with merch. I think that's the principal thing. You're not just selling music, you're selling kind of an image, and a bunch of them come to mind. But so I'm going to just start. We're here with the local scene.
Hit us with both barrels, baby.
With both barrels. Well, then let's just start with.
Larry says they're doing a single and then a full length.
Oh, that's right. And I heard a scratch track. That's all I'm going to say, and it's outstanding.
Oh, single, then an EP, and then a full length. Can I just be giddy that Larry Berrigan is watching the show right now? I can't.
Hey, Larry.
Dude, it's all you. I love that.
Well,
dive in, brother.
I'm going to start with the local scene here. As you know, I mean, if you know anything about Dallas-Fort Worth, you know that Texas in general is steeped with musical acts of all sorts. The Gulf Coast grindcore scene is second to none. The punk scene is outstanding here. In fact, our friends from Rigor Mortis talk about how they did crossover shows at punk clubs early in their career just to play. So I'm going to start with one of my favorite Texas bands. In fact, I even have a tattoo of this particular thing, and that's our friends from Gamma Side.
Yes.
Now, if you don't know anything about Gamma Side, this right here was kind of their thing. It was the gas mask skull. It represented the band.
Man, that's vintage too.
That's vintage. And here, a shout out to Eddie Konopasek with the Gamma Side Godzilla. I think this was...
What size is that? Because I'm sure you can't wear that anymore.
I'm sure I can't.
Probably need to give that to me.
I'm sure. Have you returned my videos yet?
No.
Anyway.
Or your CD.
And so I love the idea of Gamma Side. Here's my friend Sawblade that did did his own little rendition of the War Pig, but he did his own little rendition of the Gamma Side skull. And so when we were putting together the anthology, which is basically all the demos, Victims of Science, we had to sort of include the same idea with the hidden skull. Where am I going here? There, that's better. So and this is kind of cool because
it's like you're in a mirror, buddy.
Because it flips over and it completes the skull. So this theme is like throughout. So, when you see this, that's Gamma Side, even if you couldn't see the name on the record itself. And speaking of which, this is about as iconic as it gets. I can cover the name and you know exactly who that is.
Yep.
That's Rigor Mortis. And
what's the most famous place you've ever seen that?
The
opening of Doogie Howser, MD, back in the day.
Oh yeah,
remember?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it was hanging on his cubicle.
That's right, and so I like the simplicity of this, and I think that the
what's the thing's name? Did you already say that?
I think it's Sog.
Sog.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'd have to get Casey or Harden on, but anyway, there it is. Look at the simplicity of that I love black and white shirts anyway. But man, that's killer.
I'm looking at your camera to make sure you're doing this right.
Yes, I am.
You're doing great.
So, and so spawning out of the Rigor Mortis Gamma Side camp, of course, we had the outrageous and wonderful War Beast.
Yep, watch some live video of them today.
And so, when I sat down with them, they wanted obviously album cover art and so forth, and they were going to take this thing to a huge level, and they wanted something to identify it with. So I came up with this creature, and we called it Gamortis. It's like a kind of a Godzilla knockoff. And so this was the initial rendition of Gamortis. It was kind of a lizard-like creature, but it really hadn't taken life yet. It just like a you'd gone hunting and you hung it on your wall.
Mm-hmm.
Well, as the band progressed, we sort of brought the Gamortis character to life. Now he's here. He's destroying a city. One thing I love about this album is you turn it around and you see the backside view of him where he's walking away from you.
I never noticed that.
Yeah. So anyway, so now Gamortis is coming alive and he's becoming, he's evolving, but it's still, this became recognized as War Beast, which is great for consumers because then they're looking for the next rendition. Well, this is my favorite. This is the battle tested, and as you see, he's evolving more and more into a human type character, and Gamortis is becoming a real battle tested.
I just like to say it. It's kind of like saying the name Francisco.
Yeah, and as you look at this, you'll see the scarring. This isn't a perfect drawing. He's got scarring and cracks and chinked armor and so forth.
It's good.
But that's the way it, And so, and last but not least, what I did when we did the final thing, we did the BCAD as a memorial towards to Bruce Corbett.
Mm-hmm.
But what I did was, and Monkey Bud, this is your gift for the day.
Signed by the artist.
Signed by the artist. I actually put together all 3 renditions of the beginning and the end.
It's worth hundreds, maybe tens of dollars.
Tens of dollars at least. But anyway, I combined the very first Gamortis and the very last Gamortis and formed the new Gamortis, and I did the same thing with the logo. So it all kind of worked itself together, and this is like the final key or final piece of the puzzle.
There's one proudly hanging in my home. All the finest homes have those.
Of course they do, and we actually have a few left.
It's true. It has the look and feel of hand-tooled leather.
We actually have a few left, so if you want one, hit us up.
Yes, we do.
And maybe we can give one away. Well, sticking to the Texas scene, these are some real rare birds. These are insect warfare test pressings. And insect warfare, for those that don't know, is probably one of the preeminent grindcore bands in the world, let alone in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
And Daniel Sawblade Shaw, who did these little renditions here, basically gave them the identity of this wicked, evil, mean, praying mantis character. And so you'll see in some of the prominent drawings, including World Termination has roaches and so forth, but this whole idea of insects as your mascot became, well...
Those are crazy cool, man.
Yeah.
That's see-through clear plastic that the yellow is just see.
Yeah,
man, that's so cool.
Yeah, this is the yellow one is one of 25.
Can I borrow those?
No, you can't borrow these.
Oh, okay.
Well, I tell you what, you can borrow. Give me a deposit of $400, and you can borrow them.
Okay.
And so let's see. Moving on. War Beast was highly. They were influenced by a lot of German bands, kind of Destruction, Creator, Sodom, Tankard. Well, this is one of my favorites. The band Exhumer, and they had this little spiky dude on there on the cover. And guess what? The next album, guess what they had? They had the little spiky dude, and the album's called Rising from the Sea. So
reminds me of the Quiet Riot mask.
Yeah, so kind of like the Gamortis character, he was evolving.
Cool.
So that's
I didn't think of that one.
Yep, that's one of my favorites.
I just now thought of the Quiet Riot one. I'm not that smart.
Are you familiar with Captain Beyond?
Hmm.
This is kind of an all. They were like an all-star rock band. In fact, this is basically the front cover of their first album, and so this same character just sort of became kind of their go-to guy.
Yes.
Yeah. All their albums had Captain Beyond.
Okay.
Beyond.
I did not know that.
Beyond the realm of sleep.
What's up, Jonathan?
Here's one that you probably are very familiar with. Overkill.
Yes.
The winged skull has become synonymous with overkill.
Yeah, I love that one.
That's
one of those that you only need to see the figure.
Right.
And you know who it is. There's no guessing at all.
And I think that they haven't strayed too far away from this lime green thing.
Mm-hmm.
And lime green and black are two of my favorite combos. And anyway, that's a striking contrast, and I really dig it. But that I know people that, in fact, our buddy Rob Doom McNeese has one of these tattooed on him because it's killer looking.
It is killer.
And it is synonymous with overkill.
Yep. That's a good man. You thought of some good ones, dude.
Oh, I'm not done yet.
You're on a tear.
Do you want me to?
I went big, and that was it. I went super mainstream.
Oh, well,
You're killing it over here.
I forgot about this. I forgot about this in our Texas Metal Roundup.
Okay.
Our buddies from Devastation. I don't know if they found this photograph at a museum or something, but it was this blindfolded skull, meaning that, they couldn't see the truth until the very end, and so that became synonymous with the band. And so even when they did a picture disc, they did the blindfolded skull.
Okay.
The infamous Idolatry record, which is obviously a greatness.
Yes.
And
see, I've got both of those albums on CD, and I didn't even realize with the blindfolded skull.
Yeah.
Sorry, Rodney.
And, even I have the blindfolded skull on my forearm.
Whoa. Slow up.
Because I love Devastation. They're my brothers. They're my boys.
Cool.
Yeah. So, anyway, here we go.
You're a badass.
Shall we just keep going, or?
Yeah.
I'm going to go off the reservation here.
You're doing great.
In fact, I'm really going to go off the reservation.
What's up, Robin Taylor?
Could we call this the mascot of Rush? The naked man staring at the star? Can we do that? Is that an acceptable?
I was today years old when you made that point, and I agree with you right this minute.
Wow. Wow. Jeez. Boy, I'm looking for signs of the apocalypse right about now. Rob is agreeing with me.
Wow.
Let's see if you agree on this
I
one.
would say yes, and the reason that I would agree with that is because when Knucklebones decided to do a Rush statue, guess what it was? It was the Starman. Could have done the logo.
And he's on hemispheres.
Yeah. Okay.
Pointing off to the side of the brain. Okay. Are the KISS members not mascots in and among themselves?
Yeah, and when we do our logos and all that kind of stuff episode, they will obviously be at the forefront of that. But I hadn't thought of that for this discussion, but yeah, I think you're right because
isn't that the big beef with everybody, that they have two unoriginal members and they just assume the identity of Spaceman and Catman?
But that's what sells.
That's the band.
That's what sells. That's the trademark. Okay. Yeah, good point.
All right. Now,
Carcass is taking me to school today, kids.
All right.
Good grief.
Now, you're really going to this is a real reach, but I have to say something about my favorite
Oh, here
band.
we go. Hang on. I'll just take a nap while John talks about Osric Tentacles.
Okay.
Hey, Monkey Butt, what do you got going on?
Hey. Pay attention. I'm schooling you, remember? Okay.
He shoehorns this band into about every third or fourth episode.
If you're a real music person, you will appreciate and love Osric Tentacles. And you'll appreciate that they have the Earp Man.
Yes, they do.
And it is a theme that continues in and about their albums. There he is again, walking on bubbles, because that's what you do when you're in Osric Tentacles. Or look, you take a drink. This is the Sploosh single. And look, there's the Earp Man again on Pungent Effulgent.
Okay. See, and I've seen all these because because I know they're on your ceiling at the house, so you can stare at them when you wake up in the night. But I did not notice that dude was on all of them.
Okay. Well, I'm almost done. Okay.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. So I just saw Razor with Violence and Power Trip and Carcass at the Southside Ballroom.
And they crushed your skull, didn't they?
And they did crush my skull. So why not? This guy was supposed to be kind of like their Razor Man. I know that on the Canadian pressings, he's more prominent. And in fact, to the point where this was shrunk down and all you saw was his boot. But that's Razor Man's boot. So I thought, what the heck? And so...
No, that's a good one.
And once again, Sawblade did his rendition of Razor.
Yep.
Not to be confused with...
Saw those dudes at Hell's Heroes 2 last April.
And they ripped.
Okay,
Okay, now it really gets insane. Well, maybe not that insane.
See, I didn't even think of it.
I'm going to say it. Is this like a mascot or is it like a symbol or whatever? But this Boston, and to
he loves him some Boston.
Of course,
I see him reacting over there.
This might be
finally something that he knows that we like.
And I will go on record as saying this may be the most perfect rock record ever done.
I would say that qualifies as a mascot. A mascot, you usually think of some creature or person or whatever,
right,
but no, this.
But here we are again on the second record.
For sure, it's the symbol of the band.
Here we are being chasing the symbol with the Tom Scholes.
I think it's launching from the mothership.
Or he's launching from the mothership. Well, see, I thought he was chasing, but you're right. He is launching from the mothership.
And even on, Walk On.
Walk On.
You talk about an underrated Boston album.
Boy,
just
that
side note.
And thank you, Metal Rob.
That thing ruled. Yeah, where'd you get that?
I know it pained you to give this up, but
it did.
But it took quality to get quality.
It did.
And I think we were both happy with that trade.
Oh man, yeah, that's a hard record to find right there.
Yes, it is, and not a cheap record either.
Man, you're schooling me, dude.
So, I've got one more.
Okay.
Because once we talk about the top three, I may have something to interject, and I don't even. I'll be honest with you, I don't really like the band. They're okay. I actually like the sum of the parts in different forms and fashions. But as a band, I just think they're okay. They're cool. But the marketing on these guys has kept them alive and fed for a long, long time. So with that being said,
let me see that.
You want to see it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. So are we in agreement? I hate that word.
Agreement.
Are we in agreement
that Durst?
so what are the top three mascots?
Well,
in no particular order.
In my opinion, the top three mascots are Eddie, Iron Maiden.
Yep.
Vic Rattlehead, Megadeth.
Sure.
And the War Pig for Motorhead. And we will talk about those. But show me what bridges the gap between more underground and more mainstream.
I think this might just trump, or at least be in the top three.
Carcass brought his whoopee.
I did bring a whoopee. I hope I don't knock something over here. Here we go.
I didn't think of this until you showed up with it, and this is a genius piece of marketing. Yep. Now, what do you call that guy? Now the comments are probably going to go crazy.
The Misfits.
Well, yeah, but isn't there a name for it? Ha! Molly Hatchet, you nerds. Hey, Floyd. Kiss mascot is Benjamin Franklin. Oh, Carcass is in the zone.
I am in the zone. Not the auto zone either.
Now, hang on. I got to go through some comments here. Connor says he'll punch his grandma to devastation. I concur.
Yep.
I would also punch your grandma to devastation, Connor.
But not my grandma. She punched back, and man, she had a wicked right hand.
I wouldn't punch your grandma, Connor.
And then then I'd have to deal with my grandpa, which was even.
Now, Larry says, Carcass John, you're forgetting a Texas band you did the artwork for.
Oh. Hellstar?
Okay. Let's not leave that out,
no,
sir.
No, let's not leave that out.
Carcass is, in fact, in the zone.
Well, and I have a couple of editions that I couldn't bring, and the box was too small. But how about the Anthrax Not Man?
Yes, that was a good one, and I forgot to bring my records too. Hello, Floyd.
Destruction's Mad Butcher.
Yes, that's a very good one.
How about the DRI guy?
Javier, yeah. He mentioned the Crimson Skull.
Oh, okay.
Misfits, yeah.
Tankard's little alien guy.
Oh, Robin, you're right. The answer is always Tankard.
Yes, it is. SOD's Sergeant D.
Yep.
The Creator, Demon Hoarder, or whatever they call it. And then my favorite new mascot is the Cannabis Corpse Bud, who looks like a giant.
I need to see this because I can't remember.
But he gets out in the pit and moshes with the fans, and anyway, it's hilarious. He looks like a giant bud of
Cannabis. Oh, okay.
Purple Haze or something.
Okay, yeah.
Not that I would know anything. We should get others.
And that's one of the dudes from Municipal Waste, you said.
That's Phil, the bass player, yeah,
okay.
and a couple of all-stars.
Okay, yeah, I've seen that thing. That's cool.
And they are punishing. I love that band.
Awesome.
Even though they're supposedly a spoof band of Cannibal Corpse and Death and whatever, they're just they're awesome. And in fact, they just released a new record, which I highly recommend. So I'm done talking unless somebody has a question.
No, you're doing great. Flotsam and Jetsam, Flotzilla.
Oh, Flotzilla, yeah.
That's a good one, Garrick. Hellstar Scully.
Yep. I think Larry has that tattooed on his calf or something. The red tattoo Hellstar guy.
Scully. Why am I drawing a blank on that?
Well, I don't know. It's on the was it a greatest hits or something or a
yeah. And James had the mask and everything.
Yes, there you go. Ding ding.
Okay. Gosh.
By the way, James Rivera, you promised me those horns and you still haven't gone to your storage unit, I guess.
Yeah, I need to end up with those.
You will because
Dio's Murray. That's a good one.
Oh,
Great
yeah,
one,
yeah.
Garrick.
Yeah.
Outstanding.
I like audience participation.
I do
this
too.
Is cool.
Connor says the one with the bird guy, but he doesn't know the band.
Budgie.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
That's a good one too. Now, our top three, and I'll keep trying to keep up with the comments, and nobody's called yet to claim a free CD. The number is 877-337-5844. Our caller is not listening, apparently. So the top three in this order, in my opinion, even though
the Misfits.
Yeah, the Misfits
may upset the apple cart there.
I think that's an honorable mention because I want to go strictly metal mascots here.
All right.
I'm not going to talk about Osric Tentacles with you anymore.
Herp man.
I think from 3, 2, 1 order, Vic Rattlehead to me is number 3.
Sure.
Now you see Vic Rattlehead in more instances of himself. Does that make sense? And more, he kind of almost Eddie in that way. Like he appears on several different
forms.
Covers and several different versions of himself. So you get the first cover with the skull and everything, but man, that's iconic right there.
Ed Repka is just
dude.
He is a boss when it comes to
Ed Repka's
heavy metal
genius.
covers. Yep.
But man, that cover of Peace Sells But Who's Buying, leaning on the for sale sign in front of the UN. Oh, dude.
And completely wasted, destroyed in destruction. Yeah.
That to me brought Vic Rattlehead to full life. Much like, well, we'll get to the Eddie thing. But on the first album, he's just the skull sitting on the table or whatever. But now he's a character. Now he's a mascot.
And I guess that was the approach we were trying to take with Warbeast too, is we started off with just a skull and then we tried to.
And there's the best Megadeth. There's the best Megadeth album. I Will Fight You.
You're not going to fight me. I agree with
you. That's it. And
I'll
that's my favorite. That's my favorite Vic. This one's hard to beat, but this is my favorite Vic with all the presidents.
Yep.
And everything.
Dig it.
Fantastic. Ed Repka is a genius artist, and so that's my number 3 of all time.
Okay.
Now, are we in agreement on our top 3?
Yeah, we are. We actually are.
Now, the second, which is not as, I don't want to say not as prolific, because that's not the word I want to use, but it's not seen. Well, it's seen in several different
Go
versions.
ahead, say it, and I will disagree with that statement.
Okay, because you're about to rattle off how many albums it's on?
Well, it's on,
The Motorhead War Pig, that is an iconic logo, mascot, whatever you want to call it, because I've seen albums with just this, and it doesn't even say Motorhead.
Like the one with the leather cover.
Yeah.
As we mentioned.
No Remorse, I think.
Yeah, as we mentioned.
It's the vinyl version of this, actually. Yeah. Nothing but when you're flipping through the bin and you see that, you know exactly who it is.
And I told you that when I went to Vakken that one year, the number one shirt that I saw was Motorhead. By far.
Yep. I believe you have it tattooed.
I have it tattooed on my left calf.
I see that
because it's close to my heart
so much.
Yep. And it was done by, once again, the master saw blade. when he was still in the tattoo business, and it's one of my favorites.
That Motorhead War Pig, man, that to me is in the top 3. I know, somebody would have something to say about Slayer's, demon guy or whatever, but man,
the demon guy didn't really
evolve.
He was on a couple of things.
He wasn't present on a lot of things. Obviously,
the number one.
Drum roll, monkey butt. He's busy producing. He's doing things.
He's doing a good job.
He's
over
making
there
us look and sound great. The number one marketing genius mascot of all time, in my opinion, is Eddie.
Yep.
And I rewatched some of the Iron Maiden early years documentary just today to kind of refresh my memory on how he came about. And the first thing, when they were they were recording, they were looking at album covers, and the first thing they did was they came up with this, which they saw this as a proposed idea for the first album cover. And it came from an idea for some punk project, is what Derek says in the documentary. But the first thing you saw was the Running Free single. I think I'm getting this correct. You saw the Running Free single.
But you didn't really see
him.
You saw this
Eddie. You saw this
shadowy figure.
Yeah, there's this ominous character in the background who has committed a heinous crime of some sort. And this dude's running. So anyway, there's shadowy figure.
And now you get to see what he looks like.
Oh, it makes sense now. That's what he looks like. And it all started with the little, head that spits blood on the back of the stage, Eddie the Head.
Right.
They just called him Eddie.
And now
I think we'll call him Eddie.
And
that's where it all started, just from that stupid mask, that funny looking kabuki mask thing.
And now
he's
10 feet tall or 12 feet tall or something. And
they have expanded this thing. My favorite, I don't know, man. Does it get better than that, Eddie, on the cover of Killers?
It might.
I mean,
I love Power Slave. I love. And
is everything about this album cover is just amazing,
and it screams Iron Maiden.
Yes, it does.
You don't even have to like the Motorhead thing. You don't have to see the logo for Iron Maiden to know.
And
that's
the T-shirts don't have their picture on it. I mean, some of them do, I'm sure. Whose picture's on there? Eddie's.
Eddie.
Yep.
This is Iron Maiden.
And that's my favorite Iron Maiden album, with Eddie in the Insane Asylum, the lobotomized Eddie. Love that one.
That's my number 2, but okay.
And this is your favorite, isn't it?
My number 1. Yep. No, I'm just saying.
Tell us.
The thing about this is it's heavy, it's melodic, it tells a story, and it's so. I love the Rime of the Ancient Mariner. That is to me like the ultimate epic heavy metal song.
Well, and they've got Eddie tied into the artwork,
right,
tied into the theme of the album. I mean, it's just
what you're learning is Eddie is everywhere.
Next to Kiss, Iron Maiden. We've said this before. Next to Kiss, Iron Maiden is second to none, except maybe Kiss. Right? I mean,
yeah.
I mean,
man, that's hard to. I mean, if you're gonna split genres, then I'd say Kiss is the rock and roll king, and then Eddie is the metal king.
I agree.
But then you got the misfit guy.
So, Final Frontier Eddie is a good one too. Hey, David.
Oh, yeah, that is.
David's watching.
David.
Oh. Apparently, is the phone ringing? Apparently the phone has been ringing. Oh, huh.
Is someone complaining? I'm calling and I'm calling and you're not picking up.
Grim Reaper's a good one.
Yep.
Call back in, Justin. You win. He's the first person that mentioned it, so
okay.
Try it again and
fair enough.
So the cool thing about this is, and I got you a print. Which one did I bring you?
Peace of Mind.
Okay, but it's not the bust. It's him in the straitjacket or something, right? Okay,
correct.
So when I went to Metal Swap Meet last October,
San Diego,
I was set up across the aisle from Derek Riggs.
Oh, nice.
And I'm going to tell you the truth. I was a little intimidated. I was nervous to go over there and whip his butt about, hey, man, so you're that Iron Maiden artist, huh? You know, I didn't want to be that guy.
Way to stereotype us as Texans. But yeah, I would
Well,
have done this. Oh, man, hey.
That's what we sound
Ain't
like.
you that Derek Riggs guy?
But I wanted to. Hey, we're getting our.
Are we talking
our caller is on the line,
and it's not me.
So I had this guy come up to the booth, and I may have told this before, but I had this dude come up to the booth, and he wanted to trade for some records. See, he had 3 or 4 Iron Maiden picture discs, pulled out of my stash that I was selling. And I was skeptical. I didn't want to trade with him. I really didn't want to do it. I didn't want to mess with it. And I said, well, man, I don't want to run you off. I want to be nice, but what do you want to trade? And he said, well, I can offer you 4 signed Derek Riggs prints.
Okay. What records do you want again?
So he pulls out these 3 or 4 Maiden picture discs, and it was the Can I Play With Madness and, some other ones I can't remember. Oh, hello, caller.
Who's this?
It's Justin.
Justin.
Holy cow.
You're officially at the Metal Roundtable.
You are the very first caller ever in the history of the Metal Roundtable. What's up, brother?
If it's free, it's for me.
Yes.
I like it. Well, obviously, leave your info with Monkey Butt as soon as we get off the phone. So, here's what I have. You tell me what you want. I've got Banshee. I've got Heretic, which is thrash. I've got Stone Angel. Tango Down, which is more of a Firehouse style kind of thing. Or I've got Peacemaker featuring Scott Riff Miller on guitar and Ronnie Monroe on vocals, formerly of Metal Church.
I'm going with Banshee.
He's going with Banshee.
Boom.
Boom.
That was easy. All you had to do was make a phone call,
That's
Justin.
right. Well, Monkey Butt will take your information, and I will drop that thing in the mail to you this week. Do you know who this is? You know who we're talking to, Carcass?
No. Justin,
okay.
Who's a real metalhead, and all he had to do was, for a free CD, was call.
That's right. Remember the big wire gauge thing with the Metal Roundtable? He made that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes, sir.
I'm glad you called in. I'm glad you won.
Yes, thank you very much. That was a very serious radio voice. Can you do that again?
And I'm glad you won.
Thanks, Justin. I'll drop this to you, man.
All right, man.
Take care,
Appreciate
brother.
it. Thanks.
Later.
All right, Justin's a winner. Our very first winner.
You didn't say winner, chicken dinner. No.
Oh boy, I need your play pretty with it, but
Yeah, we had so much stuff here.
So thank you, Justin, for calling in. So back to Derek Riggs talk here at the tail end of our metal mascot show. So I go over, or I get to talking to the guy, and I said, well, heck yeah, man, let's make the deal. Yes, absolutely. I mean, does it cost to get them autographed? No. The prints are free. The signatures are free. I work with Derek Riggs. I want these. I'm going to get them signed. I don't have these in my collection, so I'm going to get him to sign them for my collection. Okay, cool. Fair enough. So I'm still hemming and hawing around. That's a Texas term. And I'm not going over there. Finally, I go over there and I pick out my prints, and the guy graciously meets me over there and walks me over to Derek, and I get a little FaceTime with Derek outside of just, paying your $15 or $20 and getting him to sign your stuff. He was the nicest dude. I say this about everybody, but he was the nicest freaking guy ever, man. He was so cool to talk to. I didn't get into ideas with him, and because he's been asked a million questions. We talked about where he lived and if he was, that he was down for the show, and does he like to, he goes around and does shows like that. And we talked about more personal stuff. So,
sure.
But anyway, I did get the signed prints. I got this one. I got a Somewhere in Time, and I wanted them all 3 to be the bust shots.
Right.
But they were out of Peace of Mind. So they didn't have those. So I had to get the one that we got of him running in the straight jacket.
Right.
And was very
that's
glad
cool.
to bring you one. But
Yeah.
I just wanted him on the wall to all three be bust, but I ended up with this, and I'm very happy. He took his time to sign them. He was very sweet. Every time he saw me after that, in and out of the show that day, he spoke and was just very kind. And so, anyway,
what a great job. I mean, who wouldn't want the job of the guy that draws Eddie? I mean, that's fantastic.
Yeah, it was awesome, man. He was really a sweet dude. It was cool to meet him, and it was just, to me, it was just like meeting any one of our rock star heroes, because the artwork is so iconic.
Yep.
And the mascot is so iconic. So meeting Derek Riggs, to me, was about the same as meeting Steve Harris or some of our musical heroes, because he was such a big deal. Because I remember laying on the floor of my bedroom just poring over the artwork. What secrets are in here? What details are in here? So for my money, Eddie is the #1 musical mascot, certainly in heavy metal, maybe in music of all time. Most recognizable,
even though
character.
Mr. Simmons and Mr. Stanley may have an argument there. However,
yeah, but they are
point,
characters of themselves. Yes,
right. But I think you're right. I can't disagree with that. I mean, I think that the secret here is if you can see the mascot and know exactly who we're talking about, and just based on the disguise that he's wearing, tell what album that's from. That's what really defined it for me.
Right.
I mean, when you see this, you know that's Power Slave by Iron Maiden.
Right.
And when you see him in with the straight jacket, you know it's Peace of Mind.
Right.
And so to me, it probably is the ultimate in music. I can't think of it right off the top of my head, and my head's been spinning, as you can see, with this box full of stuff.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything different than this.
And Garrick makes a good point. Alice Cooper is his own mascot, which is a good point. But I think that's going to translate more into the logos and symbols kind of show that we're going to do.
And I was gonna drag Abath from Immortal. And,
there's
and all those. We can go down that road another time. But that being said, as far as pure, I don't see very many Abath. Action figures, although I do have an Abath snow globe.
Yes, you do.
But how many action figures do we see from Eddie?
Oh, my gosh. There are 12 or 15 available on the Super 7 site right now. It's amazing what they've done with those.
So,
they're so cool.
So as far as marketability and an actual thing that exists and is moving and takes on the personality of the music,
your winner.
Bang, Eddie.
This is your winner.
Bar none.
Well, I want to say thank you for everyone that joined us today. Man, we had some good participation. I'm still stoked that Larry watched.
Thanks,
awesome.
Larry.
Yeah.
Can't wait to hear the new stuff, although I have heard the one song.
Dave Weintraub,
Thanks.
Hello.
What's up, Dave?
Connor. Yeah, man. Some good audience participation today. I would love it, love it, love it if you'd all go to the YouTube channel, the Metal Roundtable channel, and I would love it if you would all hit that little subscribe button. The quicker we get to 100, the quicker we can open this up to bigger and better things. And if I had known better when I set up my personal channel, we would have eclipsed that long ago. But
remember, you're not very good on social media.
I'm a dummy on social media, and so I really screwed up on that. So we're just trying to get everybody to shift over to that because it allows us to do more things.
Yeah, opens up the doors to the realms of chaos. So can't wait.
Cool. Thanks, Floyd. Floyd says, dig the show. Keep it up.
Right on.
Awesome.
Right on.
Well, I got nothing else, man. Are you good?
I'm good. Man,
thanks for our first caller who won the Banshee CD.
Thanks, Justin.
And until next time,
Metal will prevail.
I don't know where to look.